It came from Reddit. Yes, this is the part of the show. Well, actually, hold on. Not just Reddit this week. We got stuff from all over. This is the part of the show where we search all over the internet to bring you topics the community is talking about. All right. We have one more here. This one's going to be fun. Is my manager that horrible? This is from Susie XO on the user experience subreddit again. I recently started a new job as a UX or UI designer. And am not sure if I'm overreacting because I'm not interested in the industry or if my manager is really horrible. I'm the only designer on the team, and my manager assigns me tasks. I'm an organized person, so I need to know what I'll be working on for the week in advance. I've been getting tasks during the day, and my manager has zero design experience, will call me, want me to share the screen, and will complain about the colors and icons. She recently wanted me to make changes on the project while we're on the call, and she sees me making the changes. There is no user testing in the process. She also calls me for a 30-minute meeting, but ends up being more than an hour, and every time I show the design, she will ask for new changes. Last week, she told me to work on the final changes for Friday and send the screens in an email. However, she suddenly assigned me a task of changing another screen as well, so obviously this will take more time. I then contacted her and said that I will be able to submit everything on Monday rather than Friday, and her response was a passive-aggressive, is this normal, or am I right in my reaction? There's a lot to unpack there. I think if you think about this from the design perspective, there's that perspective, but I'm thinking about this from the human factors perspective as well. What do you do in a case where there is a person above you that does not take the things that you are doing at face value, and they feel like they need to have control over it? Blake, I'm going to pass this over to you.
Yeah, so I mean, regardless of who you are or even what job you work, I think there's a couple of things you can take away from a situation like this. And the biggest one being, I don't think this is absolutely a normal set of things you should be experiencing, no matter what, if you're human factors, if you're a developer, if you're a designer. Although it does seem to happen a lot when you end up in these sole positions where like you have a manager and you're the only human factors person, user experience designer, whatever it is, where you end up with kind of an inefficiency in how the process is run. And I think the biggest thing that I'm seeing here is I would be careful in this person's shoes, because if they're, like we talked about kind of last week, if they're feeling this, I'm not even interested in the industry anymore, that's not a good sign. And I don't really think that's necessarily your fault. I think there's a lot of tough stuff going on here from your management perspective. The biggest thing I would say that you could do is you probably need to set some boundaries with this person. And that would be having the tough conversations about, these are the things that I am experiencing at work, up to the fact that you're not getting clear tasking. Tasking comes kind of at the last minute, and then there's no clear design process that you feel like is being executed. Now, from the design side, Nick, you can talk from the HF side in a moment, but the big thing here that I would keep in mind if you're the sole designer, it becomes your job to put that design process in place and to be an advocate for it. You can't just expect that a company's going to know what to do with a designer and that they're just going to have some process in place, especially if you're the only person doing the job. So the more that you can try and define and set up a process and really get invested in the work that you're doing, I think the better off you're going to be, and the more control you're going to have over your tasking and things that need to get done, leaving less time for your PM to be assigning you things or giving you random tasks because you already know all the steps that need to be executed. Now, the portion that does bother me here is the amount of feedback that you're getting that doesn't sound like, at least from this post, that there is a lot of rationale for why. There's a lot of opinions potentially being thrown at you for things that you need to change. And I would say here, again, this is in some ways normal, but you have to be able to kind of fight for your designs, if you will, or fight for your work. Give rationale for why you put something together the way that you did. Why did you design it in such a way, colors that you used, whatever it might be that you're kind of going back and forth with the person over. So it does sound like this person is a little bit of a tough PM and could use a little bit of your help to understand the situation as it is for you. so that you can both work together to come to a good solution at the end of it. Doesn't mean that that'll happen, but you kind of have to do your due diligence on your side to try and create a better environment for yourself. But Nick, what would you do in this situation?
Okay. There's a lot to unpack here. I'm going to answer the question at the top. Is my manager that horrible? Yes. Key attributes of a good manager: 1, constructive feedback; 2, appreciates and understands their employees' skill set and pairs them up appropriately. This is an inappropriate relationship with their employee because it does not exude trust. It is a micromanagement aspect that really shows a lack of understanding of what this person is aiming to do in their role. Blake, I think you said a lot there for setting up these clear boundaries when it comes to this person's role in this company. I think this is a delicate situation to navigate here, especially when you're trying to explain to the person who is not being that great that you need them to back off a little bit. I think there might be something larger here with them not having any design experience or really any experience, regardless of the profession, right? If some sort of manager is coming after your work, I think you owe it to them to explain your process and how you got to that point, and kind of prove them wrong. Why are the things that they're doing, complaining about colors, complaining about icons? I mean, why are they doing that? There's 2 reasons they could. 1, they don't understand the reason why you incorporated certain things. 2, you may not have done your due diligence and they might actually have a point. I'm not saying it's the second one. I'm saying that's a possibility. So introspect a little bit and see that I'm highly suspecting that it's the first one there, where they just want to feel like they're part of the design process. And so another thing you can do is include them in that process. Set up a meeting with them and say, hey, look, I'm thinking about this or this, and give them the choice to make that final call. And that way that'll give them a little bit more ownership over the product, when ultimately the design comes down, the final design. And I think that's true for a lot of things. If you can incorporate people into your process, I think it goes a long way for making others feel that ownership. And that's in human factors too, right? If you can explain, hey, there's a user interview going on, I would love for you to watch what this is like on a camera. Don't be in the room with me. I'd love for you to watch what this is like. Then people will feel more invested in the thing that you do and understand the value that you bring to the team. That's where I'm at with this. Blake, anything else to add?
Yeah, the only other thing that I would really suggest is trying to see if you can take a little bit of control of the meeting structure. Because if there's no structure that exists, try putting one in. Put a 15-minute stand-up in on Mondays, like add in, design kind of sprints, if you will, for when they know they're going to meet with you. Because again, like Nick's mentioned, this seems like somebody who seems nervous about the product and is overbearing. So if you kind of try and implement a structure in there, it may also help you a little bit. But who knows? Maybe this person's just not meant to be a PM.
Yeah, I agree.